And, and as he pointed out, he drew this.
I do that.
As we were ready to go on, he just looked at us and he goes, I drew that.
Yeah, I do that.
Which is pretty cool. How are you doing? How are you enjoying the show?
Very well.
You just came from the Marvel 75th signing.
Yeah.
Where we had, did we have 75 or did we have over 75?
I didn't count, but
okay.
It seemed like it was a lot.
I heard there was over 75.
Yeah.
Could have been. Yeah. No,
we haven't gotten an on-scene report yet, so I want to get a sense. What was it like? Was it chaos?
It was amazing.
Was it fun? Yeah.
I went in and,
yeah.
and, you know, they have a little placards where you're supposed to sit down, but I took like half an hour.
Looking to see who was there.
Oh my God, someone else is there. And
who are the big names for you to see who was there?
I was just about everybody.
Yeah.
You know, just to see. There's a lot of people like Brian Bendis or Joe Quesada or whatever that I haven't seen. You know, because I live up in Halifax, Nova Scotia. So for me, it was like I only see these guys in conventions. This is a perfect time to get to go and say hello again.
Now, who are you between? Because this is very interesting. When you were signing, who was on either side of you?
I can't.
You know, you were just
really
down, get it done, right?
Like, I was just wandering around trying to get,
Is that, well, I asked because I was talking, because I was talking to Mike Martz earlier.
I was across from Tom Brevoort.
Oh, there you go. All right. So I was talking to Mike Martz. He's like, I'm next to Walt Simonson, and I was like, be a professional. You're an editor.
They had a small comic book that they put together that had autograph pages inside, like pages for autographs inside. Cool. So the comics would come by and you'd sign them, and every now and then you'd see
who else
signatures, like Walt Simonson.
That's
like
so
he's
cool.
here.
Yeah, and he's got a signature. Like,
he does.
There's no mistaking the Walt Simonson signature.
Not at all.
All right, very cool. Thank you for giving us that. So right now, working on Death of Wolverine. 3 issues out on the stands right now. 4 still to come.
Yeah, 4 drops on Wednesday, right?
I think so. Yeah. He's dead.
He's
on
dead.
Wednesday.
He's dead.
What was the weight of this story? Having you knowing you're doing the last Wolverine story. How quickly did you say yes? I want to know that.
Like right away.
Okay, all right.
I don't even think the words came out of Mike Martz's mouth completely, and I was like, yes.
Yeah.
And I was like, it's a week, yes.
Yeah.
So, it was phenomenal. So much fun. Charles Sewell is such a good writer.
Yeah.
And I had to do it. So it came out a little late on the in the back end, but
It was a weekly book that still came out pretty quickly.
Steve,
so I wouldn't
he's not a monthly artist.
Yeah.
But he might be a weekly.
Yeah, with the right motivation. Yeah. But you got to draw so much of Wolverine's world, so many of his characters. What were some of the highlights getting to do kind of a greatest hits on this series?
I mean, it was great to start with Nuke, a great
but
character.
you redesigned, like
in
a subtle way. That was kind of cool.
And I like your seed wrestler.
Yes, I like that description in the back of the book where you said a gone to seed wrestler.
And then we had Lady Deathstrike and Viper. And just Kitty Pryde was great.
You did a great Ogun
too. Yeah, which I mean I've got to say I had never heard of before.
Oh really?
Like, there's so many characters.
I mean, he's only made like one appearance.
Exactly. And I've read it, but it had been such a long time ago that I was like, I'm gonna have no idea. But it's a great character.
Great character.
They got to bring him back more.
Yeah, hopefully. That's the interesting thing about Wolverine is a lot of his villains the iconic villains are one-offs. Yeah. Because they kind of deal with him. He deals with them finally, and then they're not. It's the same as Punisher. It's why there's no Punisher villains.
Right.
Because they're all,
They've been punished.
They've been punished very thoroughly. I did see, Martz showed me the last page, and it's...
Oh, really?
It's pretty devastating.
It is.
This is the last, when you guys read Death of Wolverine number 4 this week, it's, you nailed it. It's a very memorable page. I think this is going to be something that's really going to stick with people for a while.
It was tough. Like that whole last issue was a lot of work. I wanted to make sure every page hit the story beats that I needed to hit, and that it worked. Yeah. So I'm just like got my fingers crossed, and I'm pretty nervous. So I've had a kid. This is pretty close.
Oh
to
yeah.
He's in the hospital.
We have lots of questions coming in from Twitter, and if you do have more questions, please go ahead and tweet those to us and use the hashtag MarvelNYCC. We have from Yabeneznik. I'm sorry that I say your name wrong every time. Hi, Steve. Civil War was really great. Thank you. How was your experience with Civil War?
Civil War was, well, I mean, it changed, the course of my career.
Of course,
as a comic book artist, so it was, it's almost hard to describe. It's just one of those things where it just flew through my life and changed everything around. But the actual process of doing it was great because Mark Miller he's phenomenal.
Yeah.
He's such a good guy to collaborate with that he made it super easy. And Marvel was really supportive of again, why, you know, not so.
It was worth the wait. Let's not, yeah.
Yeah, I'm always a quality over quantity, you know, if I have
it shows.
To do that. Yeah. So, yeah, I gotta make that tough decision.
It comes out well, though.
Marvel usually backs me with it, so it's, you know, I appreciate that.
And Sophia would like to know, when did you realize that you wanted to draw comics?
I think the clearest memory I had is my dad came here to New York City and picked up a how to draw comics the Marvel way. Of course, when I was in grade 5, I think, and gave it to me when he came back, and I just devoured that. Wow. That was it.
Now, why did he think to pick that up for you?
I'd always read comics.
Okay.
I read comics since I was like, I don't know, 2.
All right.
Like, it's just one of those things I can't remember never having comics around. So
yeah,
you know, I just started drawing from that how to draw Marvel comics. I tried to wrap my brain around 1 and 2 and 3-point perspective, and I was, you know, well, maybe do a little jig. I don't know, but I tried to, you know, I definitely tried to hit the right story beats for it, but I don't want to spoil too much.
Is it hard to kill a character that you're connected to? I mean, really.
It is. Yeah, I mean, it's tough. Like, not to be a downer, but just as I was finishing that, we had like a 10-month-old kitten that ended up with a incurable disease, so we had to put the kitten down. And that was like a drag, and then coming back to the drawing table, okay, now more death. So it was tough. It's tough. You're just
like, maybe Wolverine lives.
Yeah, exactly. Like, it's a little kitten now.
Yeah. Oh.
They didn't go for that.
This isn't your first time drawing Wolverine either, because you did. I did
Old Man Logan. Yeah.
Did you change your approach at all in this story? So I mean, obviously, different character, different universe, but just in terms of like, okay, this is the final one. We get it.
I try to just tell the story as well as I can. Yeah, the art, that's just the way I draw. Like, I really have a hard time. There's some guys that can just draw all these different styles. I can draw it this way, and I can draw that. Me, I just kind of have one way that I do, and that's the way that it
seems to be going pretty well.
So. Yeah, I'm lucky so far.
Okay.
Is there a way that you hook into drawing? Like, I know some people like to start with the sort of the environment, or they like to start with a figure, or finding the motion, or their look in their face. Is there something that hooks you in that way?
Yeah, like how you act the characters, definitely. Like, you know, you are basically making these characters act, and you want to hit those subtle beats, and it gets a little bit more difficult the more realistic you draw. The more cartoony, the easier it is to hit those emotional beats, because it gets more recognizable as a sign. Yeah. You know, this almost like, you know, a sad face or a happy face. You know, as you get more realistic, it gets difficult. So you really have to, you know, sit down, look at the script, and figure out exactly what you want to go for, and try not to be too subtle that people are like, oh no, is he upset or is he happy? You know, so you know, that's usually the way I start, and then move on from there.
Well, Steve, you are our final guest of the day, so thank you
for
closing the show with us. We will be back, guys. We are going to do Goodnight Comic-Con, read some more of your comments, but thanks to all the guests who came on today. Thanks especially to Steve McNiven, who came by very late in the show and came to close this down with us before he goes to just us.
Always late.
No. But you guys keep watching. We are going to be right back here with Marvel Live at New York Comic Con 2014, sponsored by
Marvel Contest of Champions.
From Kabam. We'll see you guys in a sec. Thank you, Steve. Awesome.